Good morning, all my fellow well-informed, knowledgeable, au courant patriots. Now, normally, since this story is about the U.S., especially the Senate, I would use a U.S. news source. But BBC makes a very interesting admission shortly into the story, so I used them. Not to mention, I just like the picture that follows this caption. Let's start there. Security officials testify Capitol rioters came prepared for war. And look at the picture they show to demonstrate this. They show these rioters with a shield, one helmet, a couple of batons, a gas mask, and that hat with the blurred out lettering. I think that is a T, so that might say Trump, but if so, every single Trump hat I've seen is red. Why is this one black? These people look more like Antifa than they do any Trump supporters I've ever seen. Trump supporters proudly show their faces. They're waving American flags. Is this some of these Antifa people that snuck into this riot? I wonder if these people will ever be identified. On top of that, note the came prepared for war quotation marks. That reminds me of the Old West adage. God created men, and Sam Colt made them equal. Look at these people. They're prepared to fight the police, and they didn't even bring a knife to this gunfight. They brought sticks and clubs. If these people came prepared for war, who were they gonna war with? These people didn't come prepared for war. They came prepared to riot. Let's go on, though, to that interesting admission from BBC. Third paragraph in. 4 people died after pro-Trump protesters stormed the U.S. Capitol. That's a very interesting admission, because originally the news reported 5 people died during these pro-Trump protests that stormed the U.S. Capitol, the 5th person being a cop. We were told he was battered to death with a fire extinguisher. We later found out it's not true. In fact, after the riots were over, this cop that died later on, he emailed his brother that he was fine. The only thing that happened to him is that he got tear gassed a little bit. They still haven't released the autopsy, but we know he wasn't attacked with fire extinguishers. He had no wounds whatsoever on him. Right now, the guesstimation is he either died of a stroke or a heart attack. And, in fact, if you listen to any of these propaganda outlets, they're likely to give the death count at 7. The one cop that died a day after the event, probably of a stroke or a heart attack, which I've already talked about, and the other 2 cops who aced themselves for unknown reasons. This insurrection they're talking about, came prepared for war that they're talking about, I don't think so. The only weapon fired during this insurrection was by a cop. And when he fired this weapon, he hit and killed a woman. So these people did not come prepared for war. At best, some of them came prepared to riot, and not even all of them, as you've also seen the pictures of the guy dressed up as a Viking and other nutcases like that. Maybe the only people that really came prepared for a riot and insurrection were those Antifa people that slipped in with the Trump supporters.